I want to help you put imposter syndrome to bed once and for all. We hear about imposter syndrome impacting women, this feeling of maybe feeling like a fraud, that we haven't earned or worked for the things that we've achieved, or we're going to be one day found out and people are going to think that we totally faked our way here. This is a real feeling and a real experience, but it itself is not real. Hear me out. I've struggled with imposter syndrome, pretty much my whole life. So I get it. And how this showed up for me was this idea that my success or what I achieved was just luck, just happened by accident. Like I rolled out of bed and poof, I had a coaching business with clients and it just happened. And I laugh because it does sound silly when we say it out loud, and maybe you're chuckling a bit too because you can relate to this feeling. And one day I looked at this thing I'd been telling myself, that my success was a luck. I didn't really do anything to earn it, and decided to really look at it. And I realized that this story I was telling myself was just that, a story. I looked at it and I said, is this true? Put this to you. Is this story, your imposter syndrome story, is it true? Is it based in reality? And what I did to question that is I sat down and I said, how have I contributed to where I am today? What are some of the things that I've done? How have I influenced by my outcomes? I made a list, and the list just kind of kept on going. When I looked at that list, I realized that list was the truth. That I had contributed, and I had skills, and I had done things, used my leadership to get to where I am today. With, of course, there's right timing, there is a little bit of luck in the process as well. But when I looked at that piece of paper, I realized that this story of being an imposter was simply a perception. Perception is not reality. Sometimes when we want to talk about imposter syndrome, right, because it is a real problem, and it can cause a lot of pain and suffering and hold us back. If you're dealing with this, it can really hold us back from going after what we want. So of course we want to talk about it. However, we don't want to give into the idea that this story is reality. So if you're dealing with imposter syndrome, you are not alone. I'm right there with you, and I can say, even with this epiphany I've had, I still have those moments. But what I invite you to do is to sit down and really get clear on the truth, the reality. And recognize that the stories that your brain might tell you, those are just stories, those are just perception. They are not truth. Truth is on your side. You have done things, you have made contributions, you are here where you are for a reason.